Prepare your dossier. Prepare an impactful dossier. Your file must allow a jury to quickly identify the interest of the project and the value generated. It must clearly meet the selection criteria and be easy and quick to read. It must be visual and intelligible to readers who are not familiar with your topic or your context. The objectives of your dossier for the awards. You need to convince the jury that your project is the best and carried by the best team. Also, the desirability. Demonstrate that your project has generated real usage and that it has been adopted. Viability and value creation. Show how the solution brings measurable and viable benefits. And then feasibility. Demonstrate that this project is implementable and deployable on a larger scale. Here is a quick reminder of the different criteria, but don't forget that the juries are made up of profiles from various departments and are not necessarily familiar with your context. Here is a typical plan for a good dossier that I will detail in this presentation. First, there is the context. How to capture interest from the first lines with, for instance, a number, an event, an anecdote, or questions. Our advice is to find out about your interlocutors to create a connections. It's about their situations, their objectives, or their sensitivity. Then there is a problem. What the world is missing, the problem at the origin of everything. The stronger the problem to be solved, the greater the desirability of the solution. As Albert Einstein said, if I had 1 hour to save the world, I would spend 55 minutes defining the problem and 5 minutes finding the solutions. Enrich yourself with concrete examples directly related to your subjects and collect verbatims and concrete data. Of course, there is a proposition value, the solutions to the problem. A simple sentence to explain your value propositions. Who is it for? What is the promise you make to your users, to your customers? Our advice is to make A/B tests. Challenge 2 value propositions with your entourage and ask them to tell you what is the clearest and the most impactful for them. Of course, there is our users and or your customers. Who are they? Your target is a group of people who share the same problems with regards to an offer. It's an identikit. Who is he? Male, female, educations, level of digitalizations. What are his objectives, challenges? What are their motivations? Where do they work? What kind of function, etc. Be specific in describing your users. They can be personified. Avoid generalities such as Orano employees in favor of Orano's employees who worked on this type of problem. There is the implemented solutions of the project. What concrete solutions was implemented? How did you test and deploy this project? Who was concerned and who was involved? On which perimeter did you start? What was the investments? Who is the targets? Do not forget that your interlocutors do not necessarily have your technical knowledge. Popularize as much as possible. One of the most important things is the difference your solution makes. Explain what makes you different from the existing and the past, and what you will bring more. How is your project different or innovative for Orano and for the end user or customer? Show your differentiating approach by being specific about its competitive advantages. Of course, you need to provide results to quantify the impact. Outline the concrete and quantified indicators or measures. It's about performance, productivity, revenues, etc. Give the contributions in a broad sense to demonstrate the desirability, feasibility, and deployment potential of the project. The more precise you are in the indicators used, the stronger your impact will be. There is also the strategic impact, the contributions to the company's project. The importance of your projects and your understanding of the issues is surely the proposal strategic alignment, and it's really important. Reuse the language elements shared by the groups. Share verbatims for the top management. This is our advice. And of course, you are the best. Share the importance of your team. Who are the contributors to the solutions implementations? What are their key skills? How was the complementarity of your team key to the success of the project? What drives them? Our advice is to go beyond job descriptions and functions. Tell us about the people and what drives them. And then there is a projection into the future, the ability of your project to mushroom. How far do you have to go to deploy or generalize your project? It's about potential envisage, entities to convince, time horizons. What are the remaining costs? About human, about finance. What do you need to accelerate this project? The more realistic you are in imagining your next steps, the more credible and reassuring you are. And of course, there is best failed ideas theory. It's about lessons, what you've learned. What were the circumstances that led to the project being stopped? What obstacles did you encounter? In your opinions, how could it have been avoided? What did you learn from it? What did it bring to the company and to you in terms of learning or organizations? Our advice is about failures. Failures are rich in learning. Promote the contributions of the project beyond the project itself. What would you do differently the next time? Have you been able to establish links with other services thanks to the project, etc., etc.? To finish, here are the 5 main principles to be considered. The first one is the structure. The answers, of course, give me a minute. Answer the selections criteria by structuring your dossier according to the criteria to facilitate the reading and scoring of your jury. There is also the simplicity. Get to the point. Lighten your text and use intelligible words with no jargons or acronym. Skip the secondary informations to be clear. It also needs to be visual. Visuals are processed 60,000 times faster by your brain than text. Feel free to add attachments to the dossier like videos, PowerPoints, or notes, or photos. And also, of course, it needs to be concrete. Get to the point. Give examples and figures to illustrate the importance of the problem and to demonstrate the impacts of your project. And to finish, there is a little toolbox about different icons and picture and inspiration sources. Thank you.